Efforts to reposition the BVI financial services industry should be focused on being prominent on the Asian market, especially China, to capitalize on emerging business opportunities in that economy. This advice came during the recent Oyster Global Marketing BVI Business Outlook Conference held on Scrub Island Resort, as financial services experts examined current trends in the global financial services market and the implications for the BVI's financial services industry. Looking at the way forward and how BVI can reposition itself effectively to maintain its competitiveness, Martin Crawford, Chief Executive Officer of the newly created OV Group, said BVI's marketing campaign should target the Asian market, especially individual wealth protection and asset accumulation services.
In China, the last 10 years has all been about growing wealth. How do I get hold of more? The next 10 years is how do I hang on to that wealth? How do I invest it? How do I protect it? How do I pass it on to my family members in a way that is safe? And so I think what the BVI needs to do is to look at that trend and say, how can we be more prominent in the private or individual wealth protection, asset accumulation market? That typically involves the use of trust.
Martin, who is responsible for global business at his combined firm, OV Group, with 550 employees across 23 offices in 19 jurisdictions, delivered his presentation via Skype. He commended the territory for its work on staying abreast with global financial regulatory standards. He also encouraged local regulators to remain compliant and focused on the Asian market.
Finally, I think BVI has got fantastic brand awareness in the markets where there's growth in Asia, but you have to maintain your competitive standing. You have to be easy to do business with. You do have to do business in Chinese, unfortunately. You have to have expertise in markets like the private client market. And in terms of your future direction, make sure you're on the trade routes of those monies that are coming out of Asia into the rest of the world. And that will mean signing double tax agreements. It will mean having promotional visits to these countries and focusing your marketing efforts on Asia first, Asia second, and Asia third.
Barrister at law James Wadham, appointed a commissioner of the BVI Financial Services Commission in February 2012, in his contribution to discussions on the way forward for the local financial services industry, says while regulation is necessary, overregulation can cripple the industry.
There's no regulation in Hong Kong whatsoever. And why would there be? Why should government get in the way of a man's God-given right to make a dollar at the expense of others? Now, is that the reputation that we want for these islands? No, it isn't. Therefore, we accept that we have to have some regulation. What we have to do is find that equilibrium that has been spoken of earlier, not only between the us and them, the them being the people whose taxes we're trying to save here, but amongst us. There is talk about new innovation. Well, who is innovating and how is the innovation achieved? There is talk about the need for flexibility. How is that recognized? How is it achieved? How is it done in a timely way? One jurisdiction comes up with a brand new idea and 17 others have copied it within 6 months. What can we do here to achieve the needs of these islands, to achieve the needs of these service providers, and to make sure we can look the big countries in the eye and say, no, you can't attack us for that. We're still doing it right.
The British Virgin Islands outpaced 25 other offshore jurisdictions to be rated the most important offshore financial services jurisdiction by the 2012 report, Offshore to 2020, Opportunities and Challenges Facing the Offshore Industry. It It was produced by OIL Offshore Incorporation. In addition to its overall top ranking, the BVI also ranked first for asset protection and estate planning, individual tax planning, special purpose vehicles, and investment holding for corporations.